What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Balwinder Bala, better known as Mr. Whisper, a documentary, street photographer and creator based in London. For the past week, I've been battling with this flu, so please bear with me as I'm only running on 50% in the tank. However, as promised, today I've got an exclusive just for you. We're diving into the brand new Fujifilm X-T30 III. If you shoot street, travel, or everyday life as a creator, and you want a compact, powerful, mirrorless camera that doesn't weigh you down, this might just be the one. Over the next 10 minutes or so, I'll walk you through the design, its key features, what's changed from the previous X-T30 models, what makes it special, how it performs in real-world situations, and finally, whether it's the right camera for you. Let's go. Kicking off with the design, no big surprises here. Being a refresh to the XT30 series, the silhouette looks and weighs exactly the same as its predecessor, with only a few subtle design cues that identify it from being the Mark III edition. The Fujifilm X-T30 III inherits the XT series iconic design that suggests the close resemblance of a classic film camera, which is the exact reason over a decade ago, I chose my very first camera, the X-T1. Now, let's take a quick tour around the new body and interface. In hand, it feels like a quality solid build in a nice compact package. Ergonomically, it has a small sculpted hand grip and a thumb rest, which for my big hands would certainly require an additional hand grip in order to feel more secure, as I sometimes like to shoot one-handed. On the front, you'll find all the usual suspects, if you're familiar with the Fujifilm system. If not, I'm considering making a more in-depth video explaining the fundamental features in more detail. And that would be more geared towards those who just picked up the X-T30 III or any other Fujifilm camera and are new to the brand's interface and would appreciate a quick start guide. Let me know in the comments if you feel that would be helpful, and with enough interest, I can make that happen for you. Looking down on the Mark III's top plate, it houses shutter speed, exposure compensation, and the all-new, somewhat controversial, dedicated film simulation dial. This offers quick access to in-camera looks and custom recipes, with 3 spots allocated for you to program your own recipes. So you can now switch film looks on the fly even while composing. The only reason I say it's controversial is because ever since it was introduced on the XT50, whenever it's mentioned in conversation, people either love it or hate it. But I feel that with this particular camera, it's perfectly suited, and I'll expand on why in the next section. It also has an enhanced auto mode switch, allowing you to move into full auto settings with one quick switch, something I would have found very useful on my first camera. And the built-in flash has been improved to deal better with shadows. On the back, it's got the tilt-type touchscreen color LCD, perfect for those low-angle and shooting from the hip shots, aligning with its photography-first ethos. On the base, you'll find the audio output, a thread for a tripod, and a compartment for a single SD and your battery slot. It's worth noting battery life has improved compared to the X-T30 previous models, now shooting around 425 frames per battery. Under the hood, its 26.1 megapixel count remains the same as the previous model. However, the upgraded X Processor 5 unlocks Fujifilm's advanced subject detection autofocus mode. It also enables the advanced AI-powered face-eye detection autofocus, which was an absolute game changer for me when it was first introduced with the X-T5. The autofocus also works remarkably well for making videos. Sadly, I couldn't get hold of the final video specs on this, but the previous version did have f-log capabilities, which is impressive for an entry-level camera. It also features 2 new film simulations, Reala Ace and Nostalgia Neg, making a total of 20 looks available. There's no IBIS, which I actually didn't realize when I took it for a spin, in both day and low light conditions, and I'll be sharing those results shortly. No weather sealing, meaning you need to keep it safe in the rain, or just buy one of these. which I'll link below via my Amazon affiliate page. The XT30 Mark III will be available in 3 colors: silver, black, and my favorite, the brand new charcoal silver, which is the one we've been looking at today. The XT30 Mark III is positioned as a traditional stills-focused camera that sits at the entry-level end of the X series lineup. Now, suddenly, the lack of IBIS, weather sealing, the enhanced auto mode switch, along with the new dedicated film simulation dial, makes much more sense when you consider its positioning within the Fujifilm ecosystem. Meaning, this camera is aimed at new users looking to buy their first dedicated camera, or budget-conscious enthusiasts seeking to replace their existing device. The XT30 Mark III delivers Fujifilm's renowned handling and unique color science in an affordable body. In short, it retains everything users loved about the XT30 Mark II while enhancing its utility and overall performance. This is where I'll showcase my favorite photos from putting the camera through its paces, so you can see how it performs in various conditions. I'll include the camera settings used because I know you guys always appreciate that. Keep in mind, these are all JPEGs made with my XF33mm f1.4 prime lens, along with the Cinebloom filter from Moment used on some of the low-light images, which I'm sure you'll be able to recognize. Lastly, all the images have been edited with my special sauce. Okay, I'm going to shut up now and let the images do the talking.
फ्लैश चलाऊं फ्लैश चला ले फ्लैश बटन दबा फ्लैश वाला नहीं फ्लैश की जरूरत नहीं
Although I only spent a short amount of time with the XT30 Mark III, it felt very intuitive to use straight out of the bag. In fact, it was a pleasure to use. But let's be honest, no camera is perfect, so here's a quick look at the strengths versus potential weaknesses. Design-wise, it's a great-looking piece of kit, packed full of features in a very compact body. It's the type of camera that disappears into your workflow rather than interrupting it. And for street photography, that matters. Your gear should serve you, not slow you down. I was impressed with the 26 megapixel image quality, especially at night, making it perfectly adequate for content creators and someone looking for their first dedicated camera. My X-T4 has the same 26 megapixel sensor, and I still confidently share photos on socials from that camera. Based on its target audience, I think the film simulation dial is well placed and works as a great stepping stone into the world of editing and post-processing. just like the ability to seamlessly connect to a smartphone with the Fujifilm X app, allowing you to transfer pictures directly to your device where they can be edited and shared. Let's not forget, getting your head around your first camera can be overwhelming, so still having the choice to be able to edit on your phone is going to be critical for this type of user. Lastly, another controversial topic, and I can already sense the comments lighting up as I speak. The new subject detection and AI-powered face-eye detection focus modes, which have always worked perfectly for me and my style of street, is a game-changing new feature. No IBIS, no weather sealing could be considered weaknesses. However, I didn't miss the lack of IBIS at all, which is in-body image stabilization, as I assumed it had it all along. The only thing that did bother me was the location of the quick menu button, which is on the thumb rest, meaning I pressed it a lot by accident. So when I would go to take a shot, the quick menu would be on screen, and as a result, I missed a few shots. Now, if you shoot mainly through the viewfinder and not the LCD screen, this won't affect you at all. Lastly, the old tilt versus flip screen debate is back. This tilt screen might put some people off, especially as an entry-level camera. I would have expected a flip screen, assuming most of the target audience would be content creators and needing that all-important selfie screen. And if that's the case, I assume that's what the XM5 model is for. At the end of the day, if you're upgrading from older gear, looking for your first dedicated camera, or want to take your first steps into Fuji's X systems, this might just hit that sweet spot. From what I've been told, it's going to be roughly priced at £999 when coupled with the new XT30 III 3mm kit lens, or for body only at £849. But this is yet to be confirmed by Fujifilm. The Fujifilm X-T30 Mark III is the perfect first camera that ticks most boxes if you want to get into any genre of photography, with its style, performance, compactness, making it a serious contender as one of the best all-rounders in its class for 2025. Now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments if you're thinking of upgrading your X-T30 Mark II, or taking the leap and making this or any other your first dedicated camera. If you've got any further questions about the Mark III, just let me know below. Thanks so much for hanging in there. Please do support the channel by hitting that like, subscribe, and notification bell, which is all I ask in return for making these videos now and in the future. I do have another X-T30 Mark III video in the pipeline, so keep an eye out for that. If you haven't had enough of me yet, you can find me on Instagram at Mr. Whisper, where I share my day-to-day photos and short-form content more regularly. That's a wrap for today's video. I'll see you in the next one, if not on the streets of London. Stay curious, Mr. Whisper over and out. Peace.